Looky, 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 looky. My little baby, my little baby. Wah, wah. Look at the camera. She's freaking out. Come on. What's going on, everybody? It's your dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, this one might be a little controversial, something I truly believe in, or you're going to get my philosophy, at least, on the no contact rule. But as you can see below, why it doesn't really work, right? Disclaimer, do I think it works? Yes, but not in the way that a lot of people thinks it does, and much less likely than a lot of people think it does, okay? Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I will love you forever with the little bell notification if you want to get my videos right away, because of YouTube's algorithm. They're all over the place. They won't give you my videos just because you subscribe. So the red button. And if you want a session with yours truly, link is down in the description, okay? Now, first I want to talk about how people use no contact, okay? How they use it and abuse it and use it incorrectly. A lot of women use no contact in form of a discipline, in a, well, if you're going to do this, then I'm going to pull away and show you. And they do it out of hopes that the guy will realize what he lost, that he took her for granted, took advantage of her, and that he truly likes her, and that he's going to come back around, okay? Or when he comes back around, the woman's like, haha, okay? Now, does that work? Yes, to a degree, but there's some prerequisites or things you have to have lined up before that, okay? So one, there has to be desire. Not just physical desire, there has to be desire. He has to be looking for something, what the hell? He has to be looking for something a little more serious, like a relationship or the potential of one. And thirdly, when I think this is the most important one, it's time and effort that you guys had. It's the time you guys already had together, right? So, if you're in a relationship and that happens and he pulls away, or sorry, you pull away and do the no contact, he's more likely to come back around. But if you're someone, you just started talking and texting, and you met on Tinder, you only been talking for a couple months, unless it's less likely to happen. Now, why is that? Women use it the wrong timing, or they have the wrong timing that you go about the wrong way. So, no contact is, in my opinion, is pulling away 100%, meaning if I do not reach out to you, you will never hear from me again, right? If the guy never reaches out to the girl, you should assume that you're never going to hear from the person again. That's just how it is, okay? That's no contact to me. But women do it at the wrong time. Women think of it more as, well, he's pulling away. I don't like his attitude, or I don't like what he's doing, so I'm going to pull away. But what's happening is, and I say this in all my videos, and all my videos are redundant, but I'm a big believer in foundation. What the hell? Now they're fighting. I'm a big believer in the foundation and the principles, right? And if a guy pulls away, and then the girl starts pulling away, you're only a convenience to the guy now. It's like, well, thank God she pulled away. Now I don't have to explain myself. I can avoid confrontation, accountability. It's just over. On to the next. Which is probably what he's going to do. Because if you met the guy on Tinder, again, one of the reasons why it doesn't work. If you met the guy on Tinder and you only been talking for a little bit, what do you have that other girls don't have? Not only that, he's probably pulling away because he was losing interest, someone else has gained his interest, or you were wanting a relationship and he wasn't when he thought he was. Now you're on two different pages. If he keeps on complying and going along with everything as if it's okay, he's telling you he's on the same page as you when he's not, so he pulls away, okay? And then women pull away at the wrong time. And women, for some reason, automatically think that when a guy comes back around, that all of a sudden his mind has changed. He woke up one day and realized, oh my God, I love her, I need her, I want her. She has the nicest nipples I've ever seen out on a woman. I don't fucking know, you know. I'd have to have her. And so she thinks when the guy comes back around that he learned his lesson and that he thought long and hard about it, and that he's wanted her back, right? And that he's coming back for the relationship for her because he's afraid of losing her. When a lot of the times, even if a guy says that, that's not the case. He can come back for several reasons. It could be sexual. It could be because you're pre-qualified, meaning you're easier to get with because you've had the history. Not just easier to get with sexually, just in general. Attention, ego boost. You guys had history. You have more depth. You've been through all the bullshit, the meeting, the early stages, the dating, the courtship. There's something there. He knows you like him. It's easier for him to get back in. Things like that. Okay? There's a lot of ways or reasons why a guy comes back around. So don't assume that just because the guy comes back around, that's for good reasons. Okay? That's why I'm very hesitant on telling girls or making girls do the no contact rule, because I think it's depicted the wrong way, and I think a lot of women use it the wrong way. You kind of use it to scold a guy, but if the guy doesn't give a shit, then I always tell women at the end of the day, the one who loves less wins. And I hate to say that. I'm not saying all relationships are like that, because they're not. But when there's a lot of games involved and bullshit, and it's the beginning stages with the guy who doesn't even know really what he wants, even though he tells you what he wants, and then you're pulling this kind of stuff, it's really hard to read him correctly, because just because he comes back around doesn't mean he wants the relationship and things like that. So I tell women the right way to pull away. And when I say pull away, I don't mean it in a mind game type of way. I hate games. I hate bullshit and all the drama and stuff like that. But, if a woman has to go in first to create the attraction, and so is the guy too. That's why guys are very strong, very forward, very initiating, and texting and blowing up your phone all the time in the beginning, right? They have to court you. They have to prove themselves. They have to win you over. They have to show you that they're worthy of your time, energy, resources, and things like that. So a guy's going to give you give you the goods. And then once he does that, you're interested, you're hooked, and now he can kind of do as he pleases, which is what usually guys do. Now, that's kind of the wrong way to go about it, but what I'm just trying to say is there is a two-stage, and he's doing it too, there's a two-stage process with it. That you can't negotiate unless there's desire there, right? Doesn't matter if you come, pull away, this, that, do the no contact, or give me an ultimatum on, hey, you got to make a decision. Do you want a relationship? Like, none of that shit matters if the attraction isn't there, if the feelings aren't there, if he doesn't desire you. Because if he doesn't desire you, you can pull away all you want, you can negotiate all you want. He's not invested, he's not interested. So I always say there's the exposure stage where you do kind of have to get each other hooked, flirt, build sexual tension, attraction, have a good time, show them that you're a cool chick without any pressure of a relationship, just hanging out and things like that. And once he starts getting used to that and that things are okay, the problem is if you keep on doing that, though, you're going to be taken advantage of. So if you're doing the cool shit in the beginning, and then whenever I say, hey, you want to come over, and you come over, well, and you keep on doing it, it's classical conditioning. You're conditioning me to treat you as such, right? I always tell women that guys do what they do to women for two reasons. One, because you let them, and two, because they think they can get away with it. So, if you're always coming over and you're always being too eager, too interested, too available, and you're texting too much and all these kind of things, it's just human nature. I'm going to take advantage of it. Girls do it too. It's just people in general. Guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, whatever. It's just how people are. We take advantage of it. Okay, we take it for granted. So that's why a guy show a lot of interest in the beginning, but if he does it too much, then a guy feels like he's too soft, he's vulnerable, he's a weak little bitch, he's pussy witch, or whatever, all these quotes or things or labels that girls put on guys and vice versa. So that's why he can't keep on doing that. He's labeled pussy whip, and the same thing with the girl. If a girl keeps on doing it and going along with it, even if the guy's the one initiating it, he's eventually going to take advantage of it, and she's going to be taken advantage of or taken for granted. Okay, so that's why I tell women, and again, he might not even know what's going on. That's why in the beginning, you have to have that exposure, kind of stage, and then you have to go through that scarcity where it's, not saying you have to pull away, but you can't be as eager or as interested or as available or, sorry, I got hiccups, or texting as much, sugar-free, right, as you did in the beginning. There has to be a balance. And then, of course, once you do that once in a while and you build the attraction and he realizes, or you keep him on his toes and vice versa. And again, I'm not saying this in a game type of way. I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to text you until you text me type of thing. But there does have to be a balance. And again, a good book I recommend on this kind of stuff is called The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. I'm also making a book on it that should be out within the end of this year. So next month or early December, on attraction and what you need to maintain attraction, to hook a guy and to keep him in and to make him commit. So look for that within the next month or two. But going back to no contact, a lot of people use it wrong. You pull away, okay, great, you pull away at the wrong time, he doesn't really give a shit. So when he does come back around, is he coming back around for the best intentions? Okay, there's a reason he was pulling away to begin with. So I always tell women, instead of, I'm not saying don't do no contact, because it's not a bad thing. Just know when to do it, okay? And that if you do it, you have to not negotiate with him, but you have to be able to do this kind of stuff and follow through with it. Like, I know a lot of girls who will pull away, and then the guy will come back and tell her these things, and she'll give him the benefit of the doubt all the time, and then she's wondering why she's in this relationship 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and he still hasn't committed. It's because there's no reason for him to. He's getting the benefits with you without being in the relationship, so he can have his cake and eat it too. Happens all the time, ladies, okay? So with that being said, no contact. Does it work? Yes, but I think a lot of people use it the wrong way. I think it's overused. It's used at the wrong time, and I think a lot of people have the wrong idea on how to do it. It's a big thing nowadays, right? Like, all coaches talk about no contact, and I talk about it too, but I'm very hesitant to go about it or to tell people to use it. And I talk to my clients, I tell them to do it in their situations, but of course I'm talking to them so I know their situation better, and we can kind of, it's not black and white when I tell them what to do. It's like, well, you got to do this because what else are you going to do? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you keep on chasing, reaching out, you're screwed. If you pull away, then, I mean, you're also screwed, because now you're not going to talk to each other. So let's do this instead. Let's do plan blah, 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 okay? But, people just go about it the wrong way, use it the wrong way. Dating coaches teach it the wrong way. Whatever. I'm going to have a book on it or a course on it eventually, because I think I have a lot of insight on it. This is not even touching the surface. This is like throwing a grain of rice on it. I have notes and ideas and insights on the pulling away, the process of pulling away, how long you should do it, if that even matters. I can get into all that. Why he pulled away, what to do because of the reason why he pulled, or what to do based on the reason why he pulled away. There's 1,000 things. How to find out the reason he pulled away, so you can find out what to do when he pulled away, or how, you know what I'm saying, okay? So, that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care. Link is in the description if you want a session with me. Book will be coming out in the next month or two, okay? Looking for late November, early December. Subscribe. For Christ's sake, subscribe. Love you. Take care, and peace.